and set an intention or a dedication for your practice today. So just something that you'd like to focus your practice around. And maybe this is just taking some time for yourself. Maybe this is a dedication to somebody in your life that needs a little bit of extra TLC. So whatever it might be, bring that into your heart. And then we'll take 2 more cleansing breaths. So inhaling deeply through the nose, big heavy sigh through the mouth. Good, and then the next time you do that, let your shoulders kind of float all the way up towards your ears. So inhale, float your shoulders up, kind of creating a little bit of tension at the tops of the shoulders. And then big heavy sigh, kind of let your shoulders go down and back. Good, and then we'll go ahead and blink the eyes open, scoot a little bit more forward in your chair. And we're gonna start with seated cat and cow pose. So what I'd like you to do is ground down through your feet. So your feet are on the floor, your palms are gonna be forward. We'll start in that kind of seated mountain pose. And then on an inhale, you're gonna let your pelvis come forward, open your chest and lift your chin. So that's seated cow. Then as you exhale, you're gonna round your back, tuck your chin and pull your belly in for seated cat. And we're gonna alternate between those two. So inhale, sit tall, seated cow. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. Good, looks beautiful. Keep moving your body. Inhale, sit tall, seated cow, chin lifts. So this is spine warming, getting some blood flow to the spine. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. Inhale, sit tall, seated cow. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. Inhale, sit tall, seated cow. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. Couple more times. Inhale, moving with your range of motion. So if you don't have as much kind of tipping the pelvis forward or extension through the low back, that's okay. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. This is a good time to check in with your body. Inhale, seated cow. Doing the motion that feels good for you, right? This is feel good motion, not hurting motion. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. Good, inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Take your legs, step them out. So you're gonna step out a little bit wider, toes are gonna be turned out to the side. Take a nice deep breath in, lengthen your spine upward. So there's that little string on the top of your head, I'm giving it a gentle tug. So we're just kind of allowing our spine to follow its natural curves. We're gonna breathe in and reach our right arm up and over next to our ear. And as you exhale, you're gonna come down just slightly onto that left forearm and find a side stretch right through here, okay? And we're gonna hold here. So right now, your chest is facing me. You're kind of reaching that arm up by your ear. You could circle your wrist if that feels good. So we're just looking for a little bit of a side stretch. And then just really think about reaching through your fingertips, maybe tipping over a little bit more if that feels good. Don't fall out of your chair. And then now you can even come forward a little bit. So you're gonna kind of take that chest right here and you're gonna kind of face it towards the floor. And just keep reaching overhead. If that doesn't feel good for you, then don't do it. Good, then turn your chest back to face forward. Deep breath in, sweep your arm all the way up. Sit tall, and then exhale, release it down. Good, spine is nice and long, same thing side two. So deep breath in, raise your arm up. Exhale, come down onto your right forearm. That arm reaches up and over by your ear, just stretching as much as it feels comfortable, maybe circling out your wrist a little bit. So maybe open and close the hand, just kind of do what feels good for your body. So you're taking your breath and you're breathing into the side of your torso here. Nice and easy. Chest is forward, continuing to breathe. If you want, on your exhale, let your chest face the floor a little bit more. Keep reaching overhead. Relax the back of your neck. Good. Deep breath in, face your chest back forward. Sweep that arm all the way up. And then as you exhale, slowly release it down. Good. This time we're going to come down to our forearms. Let your head hang. If it's available to you, I want you to just kind of shake your head from side to side, or like you're shaking your head yes or no. Small movements to kind of let that tension out of the neck. And just kind of let your low back release. So your head is heavy. We're not, again, moving into pain, but we're trying to find a good range of motion where we can feel some stretching through the back. If you can do it without feeling lightheaded, you can try reaching down a little bit further, like you're going to touch the floor or reach for your feet or ankles. Now, everyone is not going to have that range of motion available, so don't worry about it if it's restricted for you. Pause and breathe. And then we're going to move both arms over towards the right leg. So move both of your arms over to the right leg, whether that's your thigh or your ankle is kind of up to your body, right? So if you can kind of reach down for your right ankle, great. If that doesn't feel good for you, then keep your arms on your thigh. Let your head relax. So if you need to look up to see what's happening, that's fine, but then try to let your head relax and be heavy. Walk your hands back through the center and take a pause. So whenever we're transitioning between poses, we're going to take our time. We're going to make sure that we stay connected with our breath. And we're not going to do anything really sudden or jarring. Now we're going to move over to the left side. So your forearms can either go to your thigh or you can reach down for your ankle. Let your head relax. Couple of nice deep breaths. In these forward fold or forward bend positions, I like to imagine the breath kind of going into the back lower portion of the rib cage. So when you take a breath in, the ribs flare, your rib cage expands, and as you exhale, you draw the belly button in slightly. Good, and then slowly come back to the center. Come up to your forearms again. Kind of let your back round, let your head hang. So kind of making a slow transition here. Then we're going to start to walk the hands up the thighs, nice and slow. And just pause here. And as you come up, I want you to alternate lifting the heels up, okay? So kind of pumping the calves a little bit. So you'll lift one heel and then the other heel. Check your spine alignment, okay? So we want to be up nice and tall. Even when we're sitting and we're not doing much with our spine here besides that nice seated posture, we want to be up tall. Okay, now I want you to try alternating lifting your toes up. You might need to step your feet out a little bit more, especially if you have weak shins. So toes up, alternating sides. A little blood flow to the front lower leg. Good. Keep those legs out nice and wide. If you're not towards the edge of your chair, I want you to get towards the edge of your chair. Take a nice deep breath in. We're going to straighten our knees and straighten our arms for seated starfish pose. So you're going to spread your fingers nice and wide. Good. And then as you exhale with your arms wide, you're going to turn to the right. So you're going to try to face the right wall. Big arms to the right. Good. Nice deep breath in, seated starfish pose. Come back to the center. Fingers are nice and wide, sit tall. Exhale, wide arm twist to the left. So twist to the left. So you're trying to turn your chest to the left side of your space and then look that way with your eyeballs. Look to the left. Good, deep breath in, come all the way up. This time I want you to step your feet in. You're gonna take your left arm, set it on the outside of your right leg, and then reach your right arm back. So now you're giving yourself a little bit of help with your hand on the outside of your leg to move into that spine twist. Twisting of the spine is okay. Our spines are supposed to twist. Sometimes we don't have that much motion, right? But we still want to use what we have. You're looking back at your hand. Couple of nice deep breaths in. So as you inhale, I want you to think about sitting as tall as you can. As you exhale, you're thinking about rotating from the low belly. Looking back towards your hand. Try not to hold your breath. Deep breath in, come all the way back up to center. Spread those arms nice and wide. As you exhale, you're going to take your right hand to the outside of the left leg. Reach your left arm back and look back at it. So sit tall, breathe in. Think about there being space between each vertebrae in your spine. Your head, the top of the head is up towards the ceiling. So even if you're looking down, that's going to bring your spine down. We want to keep our spine long and then rotate from the lowest part of your belly. Beautiful twisting, my friends. Keep rotating, looking back at that hand. Nice couple of nice deep breaths in and out. Don't force a motion that you don't have. So explore a little bit more motion, but if you don't have any more, then stay where you are. Good. Beautiful. As you exhale, slowly come back to center, release. Step those feet in, come back to that seated mountain pose. So palms are forward. On an inhale, I want you to sweep your arms forward all the way up towards the ceiling. So reach your fingertips for the sky. Good. As you exhale, I want you to pull open your chest like you're bringing your elbows towards the sides of your body. Okay? Good. Inhale, reach all the way up. Lengthen up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, couple more times. Inhale, sweeping up, looking up. Exhale, open up the chest. So pull your shoulder blades together, lift your chin up. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Keep your spine lengthened. Good, we'll sweep the arms forward. Inhale, sweep up, look up, reach up. Exhale, open the chest. Lift your chin. Good. Inhale, reach for the sky. This time, exhale, hands to heart center, forward fold. So round your back, over your legs, let your head be heavy. Inhale, lift up halfway to a flat back. So that's where you're going to hinge forward, spine is straight. Exhale, forward fold, round your back. Press into your feet, bring your arms all the way up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, we're going to try a little foot and ankle challenge. So that's called a half sun salutation. When you go through it, if you want to work your calf muscles and your small foot muscles, we're going to try keeping our heels off the floor. This is an option, you don't have to do this, okay? So from seated mountain pose, you're sitting up nice and tall. I want you to lift your heels up and you're going to keep them like that, okay? So you'll press the balls of the feet into the floor. Deep breath in, raise your arms up, look up, reach for the sky, keep those heels lifted. Exhale, open the chest. Pull the elbows towards the side bodies. Good. Inhale, reach for the sky. Heels are still up. Exhale, forward fold. Heels are still up. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press into the balls of your feet. Bring your arms all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, how'd you do? Okay, pedal out those feet a little bit. Okay, pedal them out. Now I have one more foot challenge for you. This one might be a little bit harder, okay? I want you to try to step your feet a little bit more forward. Try to keep your toes up. We're gonna go through one more half sun salutation, toes up, okay? Spine is nice and long, deep breath in, raise your arms up, reach for your fingertips. Exhale, open up the chest, elbows towards your sides. Inhale, reach up. Those toes are still off the floor. Exhale, forward fold. Toes are up, head is relaxed. Inhale, lift up to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Good, this time press into those heels. Raise your body all the way up. Look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, let your toes come down. Pedal out the feet a little bit. So toes up, heels up, toes up, heels up. Good. Beautiful. And we're going to step the legs out nice and wide again and move through some warrior poses today. So I want you to take your feet out nice and wide. We're going to do warrior 1 and warrior 2, and then we'll see how we're feeling. So I want you to take your feet out wide like this, okay? I'm going to still mirror you, so your spine is nice and long. Everybody's going to turn to the right. So your shoulders are going to turn to the right. Your hips and your legs are going to turn to the right. So we were like this. Now we're going to turn to the right. And see how my leg kind of drops in? Yeah, that's what you got to do. So it's kind of a lunge position. So that, yeah, your left leg, you're going to want to kind of tuck it back behind you a little bit. So let this knee on your back leg, we'll call this the back leg. That's going to kind of drop down. Yep. Because you're going to feel a stretch right here, right? A little hip flexor stretch. So shoulders and pelvis face the right, okay? Raise your arms up. Nice and long through your spine. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Now, you can keep that back leg bent, or you can try straightening it, depending on your range of motion and your hip flexibility. But this is going to be our variation of Warrior 1. So in Warrior 1, your hips and shoulders are facing the same direction, okay, to the side or to the front, whatever we want to call it, okay? Back knee is bent or straight, whatever feels good for you. Good, lift your chin up, keep your spine in a line. All right, now I want you to keep your legs and your trunk in that same position, but press your palms straight ahead. So the same direction that you're facing there, press them straight to that right wall. And then drop your chin down a little bit. So this is going to stretch out through your shoulder blades. Good, pause and breathe. Kind of breathing into that mid part of your back. Good, and then slowly release your hands to your thigh. Okay, listen carefully. Your right leg is going to stay right where it is, okay? Keep your eyes up here. You're going to take your leg that's back behind you and you're going to straighten it out and you're going to turn your hips to face back towards me, okay? So we were facing the right, now you're going to turn your hips to face me, but your right foot's going to stay towards that right wall. Did you see what we did there? So we were like this, looking to the right, and now we're going to turn back and look towards the front again, but keep your right leg here. Now I want you to put your legs in the same position as mine. So your right leg is bent, your left knee is straight. And you can have, your hips are going to be forward. They're going to be facing me, okay? And then bring your arms up. Yep, this is Warrior 2. So sometimes it's easier to see. If you were standing up, it would look like this. So you got to get your hips and your shoulders facing this direction. So your knee is to the right, but your hips and your shoulders are forward. Okay? And then I want you to look over your right hand. Good. Try to let your shoulders relax. So if you feel like your shoulders are hugging your ears, turn your palms down towards the floor. Palms are down. Good. Let your shoulders relax. Good. Keep breathing. Nice. Pause and breathe. And then release your arms down. And then slowly bend that left leg. And then walk the feet in. Okay? And then I want you to just alternate kind of marching them in and out a couple of times. So depending on how your hips feel, like you're probably noticing a little bit of a difference between, right and left hips right now. So we're going to do those same couple of poses on both sides. So we'll take it to side 2. So you're going to scoot right towards the edge of your chair. Take your legs pretty wide. Posture is up tall. We're going to turn the left toes to the left wall. And then we're going to turn our shoulders and our pelvis to the left. So in order to do that, you kind of have to let that right leg drop down. Yeah, so it's like you're pressing the front of your right hip forward. So you're getting a little stretch. So the leg that's on the outside, you're getting a stretch through the front of the hip. Yep. Shoulders are over your hips. You're looking to the left. Go ahead and raise your arms up. One or both arms up, breathing. Arms up towards the ceiling. Yep, and you're looking over to the left side. Good, pause and breathe. Good. Think about pressing the front of that right hip forward. Good, and then this time I want you to release your hands down. Bring them to the back of your hips or the sacrum. So the sacrum is that triangle bone right at the bottom of your spine. You're going to kind of point your elbows back as much as you feel comfortable. So if you don't have a lot of range in your shoulders, you can just bring your hands to the sides, but try to point your elbows back, okay? And then you're going to lift your chin up. So you're kind of stretching out the chest and shoulders again. We'll lift your chin a little bit to lengthen the front of the neck. Good. Beautiful. Continuing to breathe. Think about directing some breath into the spaces where you need a little bit of extra length. And then slowly release your arms. You're going to take that right leg and turn your foot to face me and straighten it out. Okay? So your left knee is going to stay facing the left wall. Your foot's going to face that way. And then you're going to straighten out this leg. Perfect. Arms are going to come up to shoulder height, palms down. Palms down. Okay, so thumbs facing forward, palms down, and you're going to look over your left hand, warrior 2. Pause and breathe. So you want to get a good grip with your left foot. So you want to be able to feel the ground through that left foot. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to be powerful in that pose. So you almost want to think about if you were to lift your butt up off the chair that you could support yourself with your legs as they are. Okay? So you're just using your chair as a prop. Nice and long, breathing. And then as you exhale, slowly release your arms down. And then go ahead and come out of it nice and slow. Step those feet in. Bring your feet so they're almost together. And we're going to curl ourselves into a little bit of a ball here. So this is called our supported hare pose, H-A-R-E. So you're going to come down to your forearms and you're going to round your back, let your head hang, let your low back release, and take a few belly breaths. So inhaling and exhaling into the belly. This would be a good place to grab a little drink if you need one right now. Couple of nice cleansing breaths here. And then also thinking about as you're in that supported hare pose with that forward bend, maybe just recalling what the intention was that you set for your practice today. And then when you're ready, slowly walking your hands up. So we're gonna come into standing next. So go ahead and come up to standing as you feel comfortable. And we're gonna move the chair to either side. So I'm gonna start with my chair to the left. So we're gonna do a couple standing balances today. So we'll start in mountain pose. So mountain pose, just like in sitting, is gonna be your feet hips distance apart. And if you want a balance challenge kind of right as you come to standing, you can shorten or narrow up your base of support in standing, okay? So your feet are gonna be parallel to each other. Your palms are forward. We have that beautiful spine alignment, just like we did in sitting. So think about your natural curves to your spine. You wanna bring your head and neck over your spine. So if you tend to do this, that's where you're gonna find that little imaginary string on your head, and I'm gonna give it a little tug and just try to line things up a little bit better, okay? Turn your palms forward. Belly is in. Good, and just pause and breathe. If it's available to you and you want a balance challenge, you can hold the chair for reference. Try blinking your eyes closed. If that does not work for you, then don't worry about it. You can also just look down towards the floor. And as you stand with your eyes closed, notice what happens. So do you feel a little bit more sway in your body? Good. And then when you're ready, you can slowly blink your eyes open. So we're gonna start with kickstand first, and then we're gonna move into eagle, okay? So kickstand, you're gonna bring your right heel to your ankle on the left. So you're narrowing your base of support, you're turning your toe out to the side, or you're turning your right knee out to the side, okay? If that doesn't work, you can also just keep your foot out, but come up to the ball of your foot, because this is pretty narrow here, right? We're gonna try keeping our hips level, holding on to the chair if we need to, or bringing one or both arms up. If we have pretty decent single leg balance, we might bring that right foot up to our ankle or our calf. We're gonna do that all while keeping our hips level. Finding something to focus your gaze on. And you're just pausing, noticing the activation in your standing leg. Safety is number one, so if you're falling out of it, make sure you're able to regain your balance. Pause and breathe. And then as you exhale, release your arms down. Put that right foot on the floor and kind of circle out the left foot. And then feet back, hips distance apart, stand tall, take a breath in. As you exhale, sit down to chair pose, hands to heart center. So I'm turning to the side so you can see me. So chair pose, you're imagining that chair behind you, and you're gonna come down part way. Pause and breathe. Good, we're gonna hold here for a little bit. You're gonna take your right hand and set it on your chair. So across your body. Right? And then I want you to take your left hand and reach it back. So you're rotating a little bit. Good. Keep your spine long. Top of the head is up towards the ceiling. Good. As you exhale, release from the twist. Stand nice and tall. Pedal out those feet a little bit. You're going to flip your chair. Your chair is going to come over to the right side this time. Okay, you're bringing your feet back in slightly, standing nice and tall, hips are level. You're gonna try kickstand on side two. So your heel is gonna come to your ankle on your right foot, You're gonna try your best not to let your hip pop out to your chair back, okay? So your hips are gonna stay level. If you need to move your foot away from that standing leg, you can, but try to come to the ball of your foot. Pull on that string a little bit, get that spine nice and long, and then you can raise your arm up or lift your foot, whatever feels good for you. There's likely going to be a difference from side to side. So you might not be able to do the exact same modification as you did on the first side, and that's okay. Nice and long and breathe. Good, think about really engaging that standing leg. So you're pressing into that foot, you're lifting the top of your head up, you're focusing your vision, you're breathing. Good. As you exhale, release your arms down. Set that lifted leg down, circle out the standing leg. And then bring your feet back in. A little bit closer if it's available. Spine long, take a breath in and sink down to chair pose. Hands come to heart center. Good. You're going to take your left hand and set it on the chair back, so across your body. So your left hand comes across your body, reach your right arm back and look at it. So you're rotating your spine. Feeling a little length through the neck. Keep the top of your head up, nice, towards the ceiling. Good. As you exhale, slowly come out of it and paddle out those feet. Beautiful. All right, we're gonna try eagle next. We're gonna stay on the same side, okay, changing it up. So we're gonna do a modification of eagle. Eagle is that one where you're kind of bending and trying to turn yourself into a pretzel a little bit. So we have options here, okay? We're gonna start with our right leg. You could cross at the ankle and just to the ball of your foot, okay? So like this. Cross it over and hold, and then we can bring our hands to heart center and hold. Okay, so that's step one. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you're going to cross the legs and you're going to bend into your knees and hips just like you did in chair. Okay? And then hands to heart center. Ready? So stand tall, your left leg is going to cross over your right. You might just be right here. If you feel like, okay, this is easy, I need to make it more challenging, you can lift your toes off the floor, or you can sit your hips back. Belly is in, hands come to heart center. Good. Pause and breathe. Relax your face, relax your jaw, know your limitations. Good, slowly come out of it, release your hands and step it out. Good, take those feet out nice and wide, flip your chair back over to the left side. Once again, standing nice and tall, you're going to do that same pose second side. So nice and tall. This time you're going to take your right leg, cross it over your left so you're coming to the ball of that foot. Hands come to heart center. Hips are level, so don't let your body sink down because you're not in control of it. If you sink into chair, I'm okay with that. Okay? If you want to make it challenging, send your hips back or float that top leg that's crossed over. Pause and breathe. You're using the chair as you need to. Tummy is tight. Belly is in. Chest is lifted. Pause and breathe. Relax your face. And then as you exhale, slowly come out of it. Stand up nice and tall. Pedal out those feet. Beautiful. From mountain pose. So your feet are 4 to 6 inches apart. Take a nice deep breath in. Reach up for the sky. Look up. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Good. Nice and tall standing. Inhale, reach your arms up. This time over your head, I want you to find a steeple grip. So your hands are going to come together. All your fingers are going to interlace, but your thumb and your first finger. Reach up through your hands. And then as you exhale, you're going to tip to the left. Don't fall over. So you're getting a little side stretch here. Good. Keep breathing. Deep breath in. Reach those fingers up for the ceiling. Lift up through your rib cage. Nice long torso. Exhale. Tip to the right. Good. Deep breath in. Lengthen all the way up. As you exhale, release your arms down. Go ahead and face your chair back. And we're going to take chair dog. So your hands are going to be on the back of your chair. You're going to walk your feet back 2 or 3 feet. Okay? Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, I want you to press your sit bones back. So you're pressing your sit bones back away from your chair. And this can really be kind of whatever you want it to feel like, depending on where you feel restricted. So you might feel a stretch through your back. You can kind of pedal out your knees a little bit or shift your hips from side to side. You can press back through your heels a little bit more to feel some length in the hamstrings. You might kind of melt your heart down towards the floor. Feel a little stretch through the shoulders. So kind of listen to your body here and do what feels good. You're kind of finding that comfortable edge. Relax your head and neck. And then once you're in a good position that feels good for your body, I want you to stay for 3 breath cycles. So you're going to inhale and exhale 3 nice, long, slow breaths. Doing your best not to hold your breath. And then once you've done those 3 breath cycles, you're going to take your time and slowly walk your feet in. Good, kind of walking in nice and slow. And then once you're standing, pedal out your feet and start to roll your shoulders up and back. So kind of letting go of tension in the shoulders. Good. And then standing nice and tall again this time. Just let your arms relax down. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. You can face back forward again. So you're going to bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. And what you might want to do with your right hand is just kind of set it on the side of your leg. So you kind of want to anchor that shoulder down. Good. Slowly come out of it. Keep holding on to the chair. Right ear, right shoulder. Nose is going to stay forward. Good. Slowly coming back to center. Take a nice deep breath in. Raise your arms all the way up. As you exhale, let them float all the way down, and then go ahead and take a seat in your chair. Grab a drink. If you haven't grabbed a drink yet, go ahead and take a drink right now. This is a good time. And then I want you, so many of you have been doing some chair yoga or some type of yoga practice for a while. So I want you just to check in with yourself here before we move into our final relaxation. And I want you to see, is there any other poses or positions that you want to do? So this is kind of, I'm going to give you about a minute and you can sort of see, okay, maybe I want to bend my neck a little bit more. Maybe I want to do my favorite seated pigeon pose. Maybe I want to just kind of let my head hang down and do a forward bend. Maybe I'm done and I just want to relax. So you kind of see what feels good. And if you're not sure, that's okay too. So part of this practice is about kind of learning your body and what types of things might feel good, so that you can kind of work on some of those things outside of the structure of this class. And try to keep breathing. And then when you feel like you've got that and you're good, then I want you to kind of settle into some relaxation. So a relaxed posture that feels good. You can let your body kind of settle into the chair. And really here I want you to just kind of do what feels good. So I have a short chair back and I think it feels nice to kind of just settle back against it, so I'm a little bit reclined. Maybe take your hands to your belly or your lap and then just kind of let your eyes close or lower your gaze. So this final part is about kind of sealing all of the goodness from our yoga and taking it with us as we leave our chairs, okay? So allowing your eyes to close, taking a moment to scan your body here from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. And if you feel tension anywhere, if you feel like you're still holding on to a certain area, I want you to take a nice cleansing breath. And when you exhale, think about letting go of that place. Or if there's a worry or a concern that's still kind of weighing you down, let it go with the exhale. And then just allow the body to be supported by the chair and the ground beneath you. Take a moment of gratitude for coming to your practice today, for taking this time to center yourself and move your body. And then just do your best to put a pause on any mind chatter and allow your body and mind to be still for a few moments.